How's it going, everybody? My name's Chris Tendo, and welcome back to another episode of Super Mario RPG. Last time, we kicked off our adventure by having Princess Peach get kidnapped right under our noses. Look, we aren't the best protector, but we are really, really good at going and getting the person. During our fight with Bowser, we noticed that the world started shaking around us, and then a giant sword, who is apparently a member of something called the Smithy Gang, slashed into Bowser's castle, kicking us out, and then upon returning, kicked us out once again by destroying the bridge, saying, "Oh, Smithy has big plans and you should piss off." Okay, he didn't say it exactly like that, but you get the gist. So now, we are on our way to the Mushroom Kingdom to go inform the Chancellor Toad that the princess got kidnapped again. Like I said, not the best protector, or bodyguard, or even boyfriend. Although according to Nintendo, that last one isn't true. But we are a good hero, so let us go save the princess, shall we? Going back down to the world map screen, we can see that we can go to Vista Hill, which we did last time, and saw that you just get this cute little animation of Mario going, "Screw you!" We can go back to Mario's pad, but we can see the Mushroom Kingdom right over there, just past Mushroom Way. And unlike other RPGs like Final Fantasy for the earlier games or Pokemon, this game does not have random encounters, but instead has overworld encounters. Let's show these off. So we have the Goombas here. Pretty much Toad went over everything with them, but what he didn't go over was specific enemy stats, which is going to be one of the key things that I put into this Let's Play. The Goombas are, well, they're Goombas. Look, they don't really have much going for them. They have pretty basic stats all around, but they are a perfect enemy to actually go into what stats are. Every enemy in the game has an HP stat, which is their hit points, an FP stat, fathom a guess what that's covering, and then we have their basic combat stats. Attack and defense is their susceptibility to hitting people and being hit, if that makes sense. And then they have their magic attack and magic defense, which is how hard they will hit magically, and how defensive they can be hit magically. They also have their speed stat, which is one of the weirder stats in the game, because the speed stat for our characters at max level doesn't really top out above like 25 or 30. There are accessories and items that we'll be getting, but it's not like your character's speed stat will be growing throughout the adventure. So there are just certain enemies that flat out will be faster than Mario. There are a few other things to mention since we're going over enemy stats here. The Goomba is the first example of an enemy that has a special attack. Now I know what you're thinking, a special attack, well that's probably using his magic stat, right? Not quite, this isn't Pokemon. Special attacks are not using a special stat. What a special attack is essentially an enhanced physical attack, sometimes with other abilities attached to them, but as you could see on the bio, or as you saw on the bio, they are actually boosting their physical stats by a certain percentage modifier, what have you. Right now, all the Goomba has is the move Thornet, which is essentially a 1.5 times boost to their basic attack. Let's see if I can actually get him to show it off. Oh yeah, on top of the help command that Toad told us earlier, there's the runaway command. Sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. And then the defend command, which is essentially a guaranteed imperfect guard, if you will. Come on, Goomba. Okay, I'm taking way too much damage. Yeah, we'll just try to show it off later. Another thing I want to go into is that Mario actually does have a magic attack right now. It's his jump command. Yes, using your physical legs to jump on somebody counts as magic. No, I don't know what the developers were smoking when they came up with that. When you win a battle, you get experience and coins, pretty standard stuff. Let's see if we can get that Thornet to show up. Plus, we also want to work on getting some experience to level up. There we go. Another thing, yes, I know I'm gonna be saying that a lot, that the remake introduces is the ability to, when landing I think it works on the imperfect attacks too, which is what I'm gonna be calling it when you do land the timed hit, but not frame perfect. I know it definitely works on the perfect timed hits, but I'm pretty sure it's on the imperfect ones as well. You have a very high chance to deal basically shockwave damage to the rest of the team, which is cool because it means that there is an actual way for you to hurt multiple enemies at once that does not involve you wasting FP on high power moves. Pretty neat. And of course, I can't seem to get the timing right. There we go, and he missed. So that was the Goomba's Thornet. He just shoots a thorn and it would have done damage. However, special attacks have a chance to miss. I'm pretty sure every move has a chance to miss in the game. I don't know about spells. I'll put that on screen right now in big letters if spells can miss. But we're gonna move our way to our next enemy. These are Paratroopas. They are a little bit more defensive, but again, they're just basic moves. Oh, dang it. There we go. And as you can see, the shockwave, the overall attack did less damage, and the shockwave did less damage. That is their defense stat coming into clutch. Okay. Ooh, okay. So what we got during that battle, I must have been looking away at the proper second because I didn't see it, is we got a lucky flower. So every enemy in the game has a specific flower attached to them that they have a chance of dropping. 20%, 30%, sometimes up to 70%. And what that does is it is a flower that will basically grant you a boost. This one is going to be a double XP, which, I mean, pretty self-explanatory. This is exactly like how it was in the original. We're just gonna keep our eye on the Yoshi, and I believe it is the far right one. There we go. So we got double HP. A tie is going to be keeping all of our stats the same, essentially as if we didn't get this. And wrong means that we would have gotten no points, which is really annoying. I apologize if I sometimes randomly cut ahead in footage a little bit. Just for these early episodes, I'm going through a lot of information, and I have my phone in my hand right now that has my whole note sheet listed, so there's gonna be some times where I gotta look over and read stuff. Anyway, what I wanted to read is I wanted to go over all of the different types of flowers that you can get from enemies. Like I said, it's enemy specific, and I didn't bother putting them on the bio screen because, frankly, it's random and it really isn't crucial in the heat of the moment. But the ones that we can get, so what we got was the Lucky Flower, which essentially can double up our experience points in battle. We can get HP up, which fully heals the person that killed the opponent that had it. Attack up, which gives us a 50% bonus to our attack. There we go, defense up, same thing but for our defense. Once again, where the character that just went and received that flower can go again, and a freebie, which is only activated upon using items, but it essentially means that you got to use that item for free, and it didn't get taken out of your inventory. Really, really cool. Okay, anyway. Ooh, free coins. Back on the road. Another thing that I can mention that I failed to mention when we went over the Goombas is that the Paratroopa has an actual weakness. There are elemental weaknesses in this game. The Paratroopas, their weaknesses jump. I mean, for God's sake, we've been jumping on them for God knows how many years. So I will show this off. Weakness. I am so glad. Wow, it's actually popping up to say exactly what I was about to say. Some elements are especially effective against certain monsters. You can deal big damage by taking advantage of these weaknesses. I'm so glad that the game tells you when there's a big weakness, because I was pretty sure that in the original version, the numbers were bigger, but the game never really told you when there was a weakness. You actually had to, like, seek that information out. I want to conserve my FP, though, so we're just going to... There we go. We are 1 level away from a level up. Or 1 experience point away, I am sorry. So let's just keep whacking on these Goombas. Ooh, okay. That was a perfect guard right there. Thank God, because... Oh. I really need to pay attention to the screen more. I just looked down. Apparently, we must have just gotten an HP up flower thing, because now my HP is full. There we go, 34. We are doing more than enough damage right now to take these guys out. This is our level up screen. I love this little level up screen for one reason alone. Oh wait, you know what? We're probably not even gonna be able to show this off just yet. Yeah, because we don't have any other party members. On your level up screen, any party member that is not selected does a little dance, and it's the cutest thing ever. It gives them so much personality. In our level ups, we can do one of 3 things. We can increase our HP, increase our attack and defense, or we can increase our magic attack and magic defense. You might be thinking, well, it would be a good idea to just increase the stat that best fits our character, wouldn't it? Or you might be thinking, oh, well, you know, attack and defense, or magic attack and magic defense are 2 stats, and HP is only 1 stat. Why would I ever do HP? And there are plenty of ways that people have built their characters before. And personally, I don't find investing fully into 1 stat to be worth it, because you do technically use each character all around. With maybe 1 exception, you might never use their magic, but we'll get into that much later. There is a method to getting the most out of your stats, though. There's a little secret that the game doesn't tell you, where each level, at a specific level, for the entirety of the game, 1 stat will be a much greater boost than the others. Right now, you might be thinking it's the mushroom, because, oh, 25 to 28, that seems like a good boost, and the attack and defense are only getting boosted by 1 point. That's incorrect. Because while our magic defense might be only going up by 1 point, our magic attack is getting boosted by 3. That is going to be a much more beneficial boost than just the additional 3 points of our HP, at least for right now. So we are definitely going to want to upgrade our magic for this level. There is a bit of a pattern, however. Starting at level 2, your boost is going to be the flower icon. At level 3, the boost is then going to be the hammer icon. Level 4, it's going to be the mushroom. 5, it goes back to flower. And then it keeps going in that pattern, giving you an additional boost if you pick that stat. Now, when you level up, all of your stats already go up. For if we look at here, we had 20 HP. It says that we are going from 25 to 8, or 28, sorry. That means that we already got a 5 HP boost to our stats. This would just be, hey, do you want to take that 5 and make it an 8 instead? So all of our stats will be growing. This is just which ones do you want to refine a little bit further? Which one you want to put a little dash of mustard on? We are going to pick magic. Okay, now that we are leveled up, I think it's a good idea to move on. So we're just gonna keep getting this. Okay, and now we can properly save Toad. Nothing crazy, still some Goombas. Forgot to hit the timed hit. Bam, bam. Phew, my life was flashing before my eyes for a second there. Here's a little something in return. He gave us a honey syrup. I suppose since I didn't go over the items before, we can go into our inventory and show what that does. The mushroom recovers 30 HP. The honey syrup is our first FP recovery item. Those are going to be more handy than you think going forward, because magic attacks in this game are busted. Okay, and ambushed by a Goomba. So from this point onward, if there are no unique things to talk about in a battle, I'm going to be cutting them out. Granted, we're already in this battle right now, so I might as well just finish it off. But going forward, if I get hit by an enemy and there is no unique enemies or anything specific that I want to talk about that we just so happen to be in a battle, so I don't want to cut out what I'm saying, then I will be cutting the battle out. Don't hit me, don't hit me, please don't hit me, please don't hit me. Okay, I think we're safe. You're gonna wanna stay on these flowers for a little bit, because staying on these flowers for a... Oh my, are you kidding me? What I wanted to happen was about to happen, and then the enemy hit me. You know what, you're getting jumped on. Okay, now I can show it off. Staying on those flowers for a long period of time actually causes Mario to do a little dizzy animation, which I have never seen before doing research for this. Once again, without being interrupted, let's show that off, if I can get back on the damn thing. Anytime now, Mario. There we go. I just think that's hilarious. I've never seen that before. Just gonna wanna explore around for a minute, see if there's any items we can get. Ooh, I actually see something up here. You're gonna wanna jump one turn to the direction that you want to be going. So here is a flower box. Hitting that will give Mario an additional flower point. If you look up at the top, it doesn't restore it, but we now have 11 instead of 10. Those are gonna be crucial. I think the max that we can get in this game is 99, and there's a lot of tricks you gotta do in order to actually hit that. Here is a flower tab. Flower items will permanently increase your max FP, letting you use more specials. These are super important, so don't forget the game. It's like you're telling them everything I'm telling them. So with that item, actually, can I... There we go. Flower tab raises FP by 1. These items are really powerful because you get a lot of them throughout the game, and they do more than just raise your FP by 1. As you will look, if you will do me a favor and look down near Mario's HP bar, it is also a full recovery. The best healing items in the game for FP, I believe, stop at 50 or are full recovery. And then the game just literally gives you items all over the place that are, oh, flower tab for doing the most basic thing. That's a full recovery for you, Chief. Like, that's insane. And it increases it by 1. I don't know. I know everybody that plays this game that just straight up uses them when they get them, which, I mean, granted, you should, because having more FP overall is good in certain instances. But, I mean, save at least one of those for crucial areas. Like, oh my gosh. Eesh. Okay. Mushroom, same thing. It increases our HP by... Never mind. I think that the mushroom, I was mistaken. I think the mushroom is just a recovery. It is not an increase. The flower ones are an increase, though. Which, by the way, the flower tab, as we can see up in the top, is an increase by 1, just like the flower box that we hit was. Continuing around, let's see what's this way. Whoa. We got a pick me up. That is a revive. Essentially, if your party member dies, use one of those and it will, well, pick them right up. Boy, that was a close call. Here's a token of my appreciation. Yet again, we get another flower tab. And I know I just said that you should hold on to these things, but we get a lot of them, and going forward, it's actually gonna be good for us to have as many points of FP as we can. So we're gonna go into our items menu, which I'm doing this by pressing X on the world screen, which is the universal item button. There we go, increases by 1. And real quick, I just want to go into our settings, and I just wanted to double check. I mentioned it in the last episode. Where is it? Here we go, battle controls. After opening the A, B, X, or Y menus during battle, press the same button to confirm. Press other buttons to select other commands. This is what I was talking about before. I have this set to B, which is the classic type, where the remake has you originally set to type A. After opening a menu, you can press A to confirm. So when I were to open the specials menu, I can then use A to confirm. I don't like that, however. I like to go all the way through by pressing the button of the command I'm doing, and then only pressing A when the timed hits appear. Always choose who to attack or heal in battle. I'm just going over a couple things right now. So we do have basic movement where you have to hold L and R to run or walk. I prefer to keep that on. Dash always. Target skipping. Skip targeting for attacking or healing in battle when there is only one possible target. I don't like that. I like always to have the choice. Difficulty setting. So there is, I didn't show this off. There is a normal mode, which is the classic mode, and then there is a breezy mode. Battles are easier in this mode. Choose this if you want to quick progress the story. I think you're doing yourself a disservice, but hey, I'm not one of those people that's going to say, oh, you're not doing it right if you're not playing on hard mode. I play Dark Souls games, I already have it hard enough as is. Another thing is that you can carry fewer items in normal mode. Any that can't fit in the storage box will be lost. Like I said, this is all stuff that we went over in Mario's house. And then we have possibly my favorite change, the music. Right now, I'll be quiet for a second, you are hearing the Remakes score. When I switch this over to the side, oh yeah, they put every track from the original game in here. Oh, that's good. We, just for the sake of this Let's Play, are going to be using the modern music, but I figured I would talk about this just while we have the screen up. I don't remember, because this is technically a new file, but I don't remember if beating the game once gets you access to the music player. If I find any information on this, I'll put it on screen right now, but I mean, just the fact that the game gives you the option is so nice. One more thing the game doesn't tell you is that the world map can now just be accessed straight from your menu. You had to actually walk to the edges of whatever area you were in to access the world map before. This is amazing. Okay, that's enough with the extra nitty-gritty menu stuff. Let's continue onward. Well, and we have the introduction of a new enemy. This is the Spiky. First, let's get rid of the paratrooper real quick. Yes! So, the Spiky is an enemy that has the first instance of a resistance that we are seeing. All right, get rid of you. Just as a pure demonstration, I'm going to show off his resistance to jump. It does not hurt us like that would in the Paper Mario series, but he's just flat out immune, for now, to our jump command. So we're just gonna wail on him, because that's all we have to do. That does it for all the new enemies in Mushroom Way, so now we can just speed along, and you know what? I'm actually going to level up a little bit. Off screen, never mind. God darn, I was like, I can see him over there, I should probably not walk over, and of course I walked over. Okay, guess I'm not leveling up after all.
Hey, are you looking at me? Me and my hammer don't like you.
Mario, you better be careful. He's definitely got a mean streak. Oh, wait. Oh, can I? Oh, my goodness. Okay. Thank God I can actually choose to fight him on my own will. Like I said, I'm going to take a minute to level up off screen just so I can level up one more time for this battle. I think level 3 is a perfect way to move forward without struggle. Okay, one more battle ought to earn us a level up. Ooh, okay. Another reason I think it's a good idea, especially in the remake, to level up is because before any major fight, you're gonna want to make sure that you've got your gauge on the left side, your action gauge, all the way filled up. Level 3, we can see our stat buffs here. We also learn the move Fireball, leading us to, honestly, one of my biggest, I guess, critiques of Mario RPG is that Mario himself is one of the characters that you don't get to change out of your party at any point. he also doesn't have the best selection of moves. I know I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but get used to jump and fireball. Just get used to it. Okay, we can see here, we get 3 HP, 1 point each. There we go, we're seeing another boost. It is much more rare for either your physical or magical stats to be going up by anything more than 1 if it's not boosted. Sorry, frog in my throat. So right here, as I said before, at level 3, we're gonna pick the physical attack boost, just because this is the most even spread. If you wanna make Mario a pure physical attacker, only pick physical. If you want him to be a tank, go HP. And if you want him to be purely a mage, by all means. I just prefer to have an even stat spread because Mario, for all intents and purposes, doesn't have one defined thing. He has a good selection of offensive magical spells, his physical stats are really good, and he doesn't have the lowest HP in the game, so it's like, it's kind of our red mage, our Cloud Strife, if you will. Okay. With all that, and we get our HP filled up, now we can go take on the Hammer Bro.
Now you got my hammer angry. You shouldn't have done that.
With a cool, unique animation, we now get to fight our first boss, the Hammer Bros. Hammer Bros, they hit pretty hard. That's pretty much it. Where they really shine, aside from the fact that there's now 2 of them, is that they get the first boosting move in the game. These things are incredibly rare, and honestly, I wish that the game did a lot more with them, but they get the move Valor Up, which will raise both of their defenses by, not both of their defenses, but both defenses of whoever uses it by 50%. They also get a very hard-hitting move for this point in the game, Hammer Time, which is a wholly unique move to this specific enemy. 2 times damage on a single target. Luckily, we can block the move if we time it properly. Not every move in the game can be blocked though, mostly status moves, but even then there are some really hard-hitting ones that just flat out you can't ignore the damage of. I suggest taking out one of these guys as quickly as you can, because if they start wailing you with the Hammer Time move, or if one of them gets to use the move Valor Up, this fight gets a whole lot harder. There we go. Luckily, they didn't have they did not have the most HP in the world, and oh crap, he used it. Okay, I know I might be jumping the gun a little bit here, but I do want to use the gauge attack that we built up just so I can I not? Is the game not going to let me use it? Oh no, it is, thank God. So right now, all we have is the move Toad Assist, which is a random assortment of beneficial effects that Toad will decide to help us out with. This was added along with the whole gauge system, which we'll go into it much later, simply as a way to enhance combat a little bit, but also I think to make the game a little easier, even though I think this game was already baby's first RPG, but whatever. Let's see what we get from the mystery box. Ooh! We got an eggshell. Hey, I mean, if the Hammer Brother can raise his defense, then why the hell can't we? Look at that, I didn't even time the block properly, and we got a free hit there. I think that the Toad Assist isn't a full stat buff, but instead just a free defense hit for us to take. But hey, I mean, I'll take it. Let's try using, actually, let's try using our new Fireball move on these guys. Fire away, press A repeatedly. All right, think I can do that. Ooh, perfect, nice. When that little meter fills up, that's pretty much it. You've topped out on your damage. See if you can press the button enough times to actually get the meter to fill. But with that, our first official boss fight of the game is kaput. 6 HP, 20, or EXP, 20 coins, and a flower jar. Already the game is handing us a lot of really useful things. Thanks, Mario. I was running so fast I wasn't watching where I was going. The Mushroom Kingdom's just ahead. We're almost there, Mario. Hey, where'd this hammer come from? Oh gee, do you think it could be the Bros of Hammer that we just defeated? Hey, do you know what this is? It has the Hammer Bros insignia on it. I got their autograph? No one stands a chance against you when you whomp them with this. You never know, it might come in handy. It might come in hammer is more like it. We picked up the hammer, which is our first item of the game, or weapon of the game. I mean, it is technically an item. You get what I'm saying. Let's get a move on. I'll see you in the Mushroom Kingdom. Yeah. Okay. Before I end today's episode, let's quickly equip and go over that. You're gonna go down to your equipment screen and we can see here that Mario has 3 slots. We can have 1 weapon, 1 armor, and an accessory. Currently, we only have the weapon. If you look over at your attack screen, you can see that that is a plus 10 to Mario's attack. There is another stat. This is going to be a RNG manipulation. It's the best way I can describe it. Essentially, each weapon in the game has a set number of points above or below that it will do damage up. So for the hammer, it's pretty much, are you going to do a few points above the listed number or a few points below the listed number? This is going to be where if you're attacking an enemy, sometimes you'll say, I did 50 damage, and other times you'll say, I did 55 damage, even if you didn't do the timed hit. That RNG is baked into essentially every single weapon in the game. Don't worry about it too much. Basically just think, oh cool, I did a little extra damage, or don't worry about it. To my knowledge, there's a single weapon in the game where this actually matters, and we will get to that weapon basically halfway through the adventure, so don't worry about it for now. Just think, oh cool, a hammer. But with all that being said, I would like to thank you all for watching. This series is, I know I already gushed about it at the end of the last episode, but I'm so happy that I'm getting back into it. Next episode, we're going to take charge, go talk to the Counselor of the Mushroom Kingdom, and see who we meet along the way. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you did. And until next time, thank you all for watching. I said that twice. See you guys then.